Okay. Hello and welcome, dear viewers, to yet another soul-searching conversation with Sanam. I'm Sanam Lalwani, and I'm so grateful to be on this social platform with all of you who have joined today. Thank you. It is lovely to connect with you all, and I'm really looking forward to talking to our next guest speaker, who is one of the first people I met when I moved to Dubai, Sabeina Taneja. Welcome, Sabeina.
Hari Om, and thank you so much for having me here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm really blessed to be here.
Very nice. Nice to be with you. So Sabeina is a holistic health coach, and that encompasses many different realms of alternative therapies and healing modalities. She is a certified yoga practitioner for 10 years, studied nutrition, and recently studied about gut health, meridians, and acupuncture. She also practices acupressure and color therapy. Sabeina's inner balance and centeredness is what reflects in her interactions with clients and gives them a feeling of upliftment. So thank you, Sabeina, for all the wonderful work you have been doing for a lot of people, including myself. It was just recently that for some reason I did have a bit of discomfort in my gut, that it just popped in my mind that let me call Sabeina and see if she has some information and she can help me. I knew you were a yoga teacher, so I said, okay, let me give it a shot. And little did I know that actually you have done extensive study of gut health and about the meridians. And I was so lucky to get your guidance after that. So thank you again for that. So I guess my first question, obviously, is what was your journey in getting into all these different modalities?
Thank you so much, Sanam, firstly, for having me here again. And I still remember clearly the day you walked in and asked for help.
Yeah.
And I think that is the first step in everyone's journey, is to seek help. First, to acknowledge that there is a problem, and then to seek help and trust and have faith in the process. I think that's the most important thing, because you're giving the right message to your body that you're actually seeking. Firstly, there's a problem, and then you're seeking help for it. So amazing. Thank you for having that faith in me. And that gives me a lot of encouragement as well, that, I had just started my journey and, you put your trust and faith in me. So I'm grateful for that. And like I told you, I think it's been a very, very personal journey for me, and a long journey. So anything and everything that people tell me has been experienced personally. It's not, I haven't done it clinically, but it's been a personal journey for me as well, because, and a lonely journey as well, because you know how much you suffer, because gut issues are usually overlooked. A fractured arm, it cannot be overlooked. Yeah. But a leaky gut or indigestion or these small symptoms are actually, it's internally happening internally. And so it's very hard to pinpoint exactly what is going wrong. So when you have a personal experience with it, I could understand your pain. And I wish, I'm grateful that I could help you with it. Yeah. But so I said, it's been a very, very personal experience with me as well. Because though I was a very active child and an active adult, I still had a very sluggish intestine, and I couldn't understand what was the problem. And I got detected with severe allergies around 2004 and then 2006 again. So it just didn't stop at, the allergens don't stop at one spot. If you don't look after them, the base expands. For example, initially I was just detected, it was a hormonal imbalance during my children's birth. And it affected my gut, like an autoimmune, it affected my gut. Okay. So I got detected with a lactose intolerant first. And, I didn't know how to deal with it. I was alone. I was a young mom. Yeah. And when I didn't look after it, I soon developed symptoms which were not getting sorted out. So when I went for my allergy test, by then I had already developed an allergy towards milk and all kind of dairy, gluten. And it was a horrific time because I had to eliminate all my favorite food.
Yeah.
Because that's all they could tell me was eliminate, don't eat this and don't eat that. And you don't know where to, and I kept making mistakes. Your children are having a pizza. How can you not have a bite of that pizza? Your comfort food as well.
So even one bite was not good for you.
Yeah, because when your system or your gut is very, very aggravated, then even 2 bites can cause major discomfort.
Okay.
Whereas because it's inflamed, the gut is inflamed. If you bring it down, the inflammation, and you treat it well, then of course your baseline increases. You can tolerate more. And so with allergies or with any kind of gut inflammation, that is the thing. So you have to, work with it to find a balance where you can tolerate it in bits and pieces. But if it's a severe allergy, then yes, you have to find alternative food. But today, I think we're so lucky. We have all kinds of alternative food and modalities as well. So it's not a problem. But it can be a very lonely journey. And also the elimination process is quite traumatic. Because our food systems are so developed into, our comfort food is wheat and gluten and dairy and eggs. And, if this is taken out of your diet, it can be quite a traumatic experience for everyone. But
it's also an emotional comfort, right? When you have to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Food is a comfort, source of comfort as well.
Yeah.
It is, you have to find the strength within. And that is when I went into, like I said, I was quite an active child. I used to go to the gym. I couldn't understand, or even as a young adult. And then I had to it had to be mind over matter, because I kept making mistakes and my allergy base kept increasing. And I was like, I had to sit myself down and say, you know what?
Yeah.
I have to bring this under control. And on the body part of it, it was not going to get sorted out till I didn't put my mind over matter. And for that, I had to find something which would give me the strength from within. And I remember clearly, I turned to firstly yoga to find the mind and body balance, because I had to bring them under alignment as well, because my mind, we all have monkey minds, it keeps making excuses for us, and it keeps saying, it's fine if I have a little bit, and it's okay if I, cheat a bit, what is 2 bites or whatever. But in my case, it wasn't helping. So I remember I turned to yoga to find that mental balance, to say, it's okay, I suffer so much, I don't need these crutches. And then, of course, we all have that question of why me? No one is, no one calls for illnesses to come their way. They just happen. And you have to find, you have to really do deep soul searching to say, why me? And I think that's the time I joined the Chinmaya mission. And finding answers. I think we're all always finding answers. And I was very lucky that I had great teachers. And I soon discovered that actually the body is also born with its own prarabdha, its own destiny. And my body's destiny was this. And I did a lot of body talk sessions, and and it was a situation where I had to, found my answers in that. So I said, if I have to heal my gut or heal myself, I have to find the strength from within. And, so I suppose every kind of healing has a body, mind, and intellect aspect to it. So you have to do it from the physical, you have to do it from the mental, you have to do it from the spiritual for it to become a way of life. Otherwise, it will be another quick fix. So it's
everything is interconnected, huh? Intertwined. So what is one thing that you discovered during your beautiful journey into health?
I definitely I found that it has to be a holistic journey. You cannot just pick up anything in an isolation and say that only this is going to fix me. Because like I said, I can take medicines, but I know that if I don't have the inner strength to, follow it through, or if I don't find other modalities to help myself, I'm going to fail. This will be another fad diet, or it'll be another, and like I said, there's information overload with the internet, so many nutritionists, so much information out there. You have to know what will work for yourself. And I don't think there's only one religion that works. I think it is a bit of the body, the mind, you have to bring them in alignment, then the mind, and then you also have to find your higher purpose. You cannot play the blame game. You cannot find loopholes. And you also have to come to the conclusion that your food is your nutrition, not a source of depletion. So
that's such an important point. Can you say that again? Food is
a source of nutrition and not depletion. You have to build up your body with food, because that's the ultimate. That is what builds us up. We cannot make it a source of making it our weakness. Make it your strength. And I'm not saying not enjoy good food, but I'm sure we all will find a balance somewhere in our
finding
lives,
that balance is what's hard.
Yeah.
But I can
So for
see
me,
that you have found a balance.
I'm trying. Every day is a new day.
Every day. No,
day,
it's so important that we keep it up and persevere, right?
Absolutely.
Amazing to hear that. So as you all know, all of you viewers, today's topic is the holistic approach to gut health. So although many of us are familiar with this topic to a certain extent, could you please, Sabeina, shed some light on the importance of gut health to everyone? If you could go into a little bit more on it.
I can't emphasize the importance of the gut because it's definitely your second brain. And, it actually is your first brain. Because if your gut is not in good shape, it's not working at its optimum, you're not really absorbing any nutrients. Those are the nutrients that feed the brain. It gives it we have the brain fog, which is actually a symptom, of bad eating habits or a leaky gut. These are terms that are thrown at us, but they all actually originate from a weak gut. So to have to keep your gut strong, so that you're absorbing the maximum amount of nutrients from your diet is essential. So I really do feel that the gut is the machine, it is that keeps us going. So I can't emphasize more on the importance of keeping your gut healthy. Optimum nutrition is through that. It, like I said, it gives you, if your gut is not in order, you'll have to take supplements. If you don't take supplements, you'll have to get into medicines. So we should recognize initially itself that, and I think the body has an innate intelligence of its own. Where we forget is to actually listen to our body. Listen to our gut. Even if there is a slight indigestion, know what is causing it, rather than overlooking it. Because all of us think a bit of indigestion and is the new normal. It's okay, have an antacid and it's okay. But, somewhere down the line, the okay has to be questioned. What is okay and how much is okay? And where am I going to find, when am I going to find that point where I need to say, okay, I need to stop now and look inside and say what is not really working for me. And eliminate that.
And I think you had mentioned to me when we had spoken before about the 5 elements and how they are related to the gut. I found that very, very interesting. And I thought maybe the viewers would also be interested in learning a little bit about that, if you don't mind talking a little
bit. Absolutely. Because that has actually given me a lot of clarity on how the universe works with us. It's in synchronization with the universe, it's our body. Because I started studying, just a reflection, that I started studying acupuncture, acupressure around the time of the pandemic, because I think it's been a turning point in a lot of our lives. And I think the first thing that hit me was I need to find something that helps me. I have to be in charge of my body. How long am I going to give other people to be in charge of this body of mine or this life of mine, right? I needed something. I was looking for something that I could be in charge of. If I was not feeling well, why could I not make myself better? How long am I going to get, a yoga practitioner or I wanted to be in charge.
You wanted to go deeper.
I wanted to go deeper. That was my curiosity around this time. And I was very lucky that, for the first time, this course was being offered on Zoom with the institute in India. And I grabbed the opportunity. And I slowly have understood that we are a very small part, but a big part, a small portion of a big picture. And that is the universe. We are part of the universe, and the universal energy does flow through us. So we have we have a yang and a yin. We've all heard of yang and yin, opposites in nature. And the opposites always have to be in balance for us to function well. So we have the energy that comes from heaven, which is the yang energy. Earth, which is below our feet, is the yin energy. The human body is between the yang and the yin. And this energy flows through the human body, and we have meridians inside us, which are energy channels. So imagine that, there's an electric pole and you're getting some energy, and this energy through us is flowing and coming out of the earth. And the meridians inside our energy channels, I mean, it's visualization. And the energy channels inside our body is taking this energy to every organ. So we study actually 12 major organs in the body, which take this energy from the heaven, pass it through, take it, absorb it, and then the organ lets the energy go. The toxins or the energy seep into the earth. So we have yin is supposed to be the negative,
Okay.
and the negative energy, and the yang is the positive energy. And when they are in balance, the human body is in balance.
Okay.
You will work well. Yeah.
Wow.
And similarly, when I'm saying we're a bigger part of the bigger earth picture or the universal picture, we have 5 elements in the universe, and those are reflected in our body. So first we have, So for example, we have the wind energy.
Yeah.
We have the heat energy.
Okay.
We have humidity. We have metal, and we have air.
Air. Okay.
So, and we have water, sorry. The last is the water.
Okay.
So when these 5 energies are assimilated, we have the perfect universe and the human body, which is part of the universe. So that's where color therapy comes in, because each of these 5 elements have a color. Wind is green, heat is red, humidity is yellow, metal is brown, and water is black. So when we put, when I come and I explain the color therapy, this is where we put the color in various points to energize those meridians.
Oh, wow.
So this is part of how we assimilate the universal energy into the human body.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know we are doing gut health. So very simply, when we study gut health, we said the first, any kind of disease, which is again, the body not being at ease, and the stomach's first symptom is gas, is wind. Gas is nothing but wind in the body.
Yeah.
So when there is any kind of non-alignment in the body, it starts with the wind energy. Yeah. That means it's not in balance. So you find that there is, you're feeling gassy, burpy, that's the first symptom. And one at this stage overlooks it. We may take may take an antacid and say, hell with it, or, it'll pass by.
It'll pass,
ignore the first one, right?
Yeah.
And if we would try fixing it at this stage, which very few of us do, or eliminate that food, or try to watch, maybe at 20, I could digest a lot of chickpeas. At 50, I cannot digest so many chickpeas. So to make an adjustment, right?
So what exactly causes the burping? Like you have to write like a diary.
Yeah, and listen to the body. When you listen to the body and you're in tune with the body, you will know what is causing it.
Okay.
So if you overlook at the wind stage, when there is slight indigestion, the body is giving you small signals, you go into the heat energy, which is your fire. That means the fire, the pitta in the body is very high. This causes your acid reflux. It comes to the stage where there is burning sensation. We have like your heart is burning. It's the fire. You feel hot, heat in the body.
Yeah.
And at this stage, again, you find there is a bit of discomfort in the body. It could, be over a period of time, this increases. And you find that there is a burning sensation. And again, we do over-the-counter medicines, or we do home remedies.
Yeah.
And if this, at this stage, it can be quite damaging if you don't, try to sort it out. Okay. Because the next stage is humidity in the body. Yeah. So when heat is not sorted out, it causes humidity, which means there is too much acid being secreted in the body.
Okay.
So, I mean, and, people keep long, there's a lot of fasting that happens, or, at this stage, you have to really take a step back and say, I am producing too much acid. How do I do this? So, you have to find that you cannot keep long gaps in your meal. Okay. At 20, you could diet the way you can't diet at 50. Yeah. You need smaller meals at shorter intervals of time, because the acid, now you have come to the stage of humidity. At 20, you didn't have humidity in the body. At
that's 45, the third 50, stage. 50,
that's the third stage. That too much acid is being produced, but it doesn't have food to digest that. So what happens is it starts eating up the stomach lining.
Okay.
And that's when you find perforations in the lining, leaky gut, digestive issues then which need intervention.
Okay.
Because if you don't intervene at this stage, if you don't mind the gaps at this stage, you will come to the fourth stage when you form actual ulcers in the body. Okay. Now is pain management. Now you'll really have to go and, get treatment done. Yeah. Because it's fourth stage is ulcers in the stomach. Okay. And if at this stage, like I said, you need intervention. And unfortunately, at this stage also, if one bypasses this stage, then the last stage is a tumor in the stomach. So the body is giving you signals along the way. Yeah. And I think if we take responsibility and say, I'm going to catch the symptoms at the initial stage, I'm going to listen to listen to the body. I can stop these, because the body is also going in stages. Nothing happens overnight. No disease is caused overnight. So this is the way, how the body works with the universe, gives you the signals, takes the energies, the meridians are carrying the right energies. So what acupuncture really does is to give you, if your meridian is blocked, if there is too much heat in the stomach meridian, we'll actually give it pressure points to release that energy, to unrelease the blockages. Okay. So the energy, the heat gets balanced in the body. and we find relief.
Yeah, I was going to ask you this later. Do you want to tell me now? Do you want to show us now a little bit?
Okay, so like you have over-the-counter drugs, we have over-the-counter pressure points.
Yeah.
These are just if you are experiencing mild symptoms of indigestion.
Yeah.
Take the web of your hand.
Okay.
Okay. And then take 2 fingers. So pressure is done between 2 fingers.
Okay.
So these 2 fingers go on this web. Right. Okay. And we work with the breath. So we inhale and press and exhale and release. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. So this is the web that we use to inhale and exhale. I'll just give you this view. So this is inhale and I'm pinching. It's actually a pinch between the forefinger and the thumb.
Okay.
So I'm pinching and inhaling when I'm pinching and releasing. So it doesn't have to be, you can just do a normal breath and inhale and just put your mind, because it's a metaphysical science. So we put our mind to it. And you don't have to do it for a long period of time. If you're doing it for preventive reasons, a lot of people, when they're used to doing acupuncture or acupressure, we do it 7 times for prevention. And if you're feeling that you've had a heavy meal and you're feeling the symptoms rising, then 14 times. And you can do it 2 to 3 times a day. So you can do it, even in a restaurant, you're going and you're feeling, you can just do it under the table. So this is your secret weapon.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, good to know. Yeah, so 7 times. Okay. And if it's bad, you said it's more or something.
14
right?
times.
Okay.
14. So 7 and 14 is what we work with. So that is one. Secondly, if you're experiencing constipation and, it's rather than before taking any drugs or medicines, this is your CV joint. So this is this is between the chin, this point. Take your forefinger and again, press and release. Press and release. And the only thing is you have to put your mind, and I'm saying, and breathe.
I do feel something like.
Yeah. So this is where the meridians for the stomach are passing. And very interestingly, the meridian of the stomach actually begins in the eye. Under the eye, it goes up to your jaw, to your head. Then from here, it goes down to your shoulder, and then through your abdominal, center of your abdominal, down the leg to yours, and ends at the second toe. So there are 45 points or meridians in the stomach organ.
Wow.
And so we find that there's a heat point, there's a humidity point. So by pressing down those points, we can find relief and unblock the blockages. It's like a pipe. Right. So when the pipe has a stone or something blocking it, you do the pressure point and you release the blockages.
Okay, wow.
So and the third point in the stomach, which is extremely important, is for diarrhea. So if you take your elbow and put again your forefinger at the crease of the elbow, you have to bend the elbow and then press and release. Press and release.
This also 7 times?
7 and 14 if like a child has got diarrhea, or if you're finding a sensation in the stomach which is not really agreeing with you, or some food has not agreed with you, this is a good point. This is one of the points even for increasing the immunity in the body. So these 3 points are also very good for your own immune system to take in as well.
The first one is the web.
The web.
Second one was
under the chin. And the third one is at the crease of the elbow.
Okay. So these are the 3 points of the gut.
Yeah.
Wow. This is amazing. So
and
then
you can use color as well.
Yeah. You want to show us about that, or should we? I just wanted to ask you in the gut, right? What can help to not put a further strain on the gut? Is there anything like you feel that, we're putting a further strain? Like what could stop us?
So when the gut is already in imbalance, it's, you have to treat it with TLC, and for example, if you have a broken arm, you put a plaster. Similarly, you have to treat the gut with a little bit of care. So if your gut is already under stress, you just have to step back, and there are a few things that you can do to help it where the food is concerned.
Okay.
For example, every food is digested with an enzyme. So there are different enzymes for breaking down the fat, different enzymes for the proteins and for the carbohydrates. So if your stomach is in a very, very tender situation, I would say that if you have 3 meals in a day, at one meal, if you're having a protein, just have one protein and not mix up two proteins, because each protein is digested or broken down by separate enzyme. So even having, for example, chicken with chickpeas, we do this so often. We have a salad and we're thinking we're doing a very healthy salad, and we're doing, got our favor by only having a chicken and chickpea salad with a bit of greens. But chickpeas are a source of protein, as is chicken. So when you eat both of them together, I need two enzymes to digest them or break them down. Now the chicken has a higher enzyme, need a stronger enzyme to break it down. So first the chicken is digested. In the meantime, the poor chickpea is sitting here waiting for its turn, and it starts to toxify. So what happens is that the body is not being able to cope with digesting two simple proteins. Similarly, if you're having a fruit with a meal, now the fruit requires a completely different digestive process than cooked food. So, so the body is trying to cope and is confused. What should I digest first? And the fruit actually is lower down in the ladder. So treat fruit as a separate meal. Otherwise, it will sit and putrefy in your stomach, and that's a lot of bloating. It's a lot of gas, and you actually feel that a great meal has been nullified. You're not absorbing the nutrients, because all the body is doing is just fighting this battle of what should I digest, what is putrefying, what is not working out well for me. So these are just some simple things that you can help the body just relax.
Because a lot of people, like a lot of us Indians, used to eat a lot of fruits after meals and everything, but I think now, like, people do know to have them in between meals, right? That's so. One of the questions was, please repeat the colors. We will go into detail for the colors. So Komal, we'll do that. Kavita is asking, any home remedies that we can take for constipation?
For constipation, it's a whole new topic on itself, because it depends on the reason for constipation. But there is, we have a lot of other pressure points, because in the stomach meridian itself, if there is constipation, it's basically a blockage in one of the stomach point meridians. For example, there could be a blockage if there's too much heat. So maybe it is also, there's too much acid in the body, or sometimes it also happens there's too little acid in the body. So we always talk of hyperacidity, but there is a symptom called hypoacidity. So you have to know which is, am I producing too much acid and this is causing me indigestion, or am I have too little acid? So, the symptoms need to be worked out, but there are home remedies of keeping your, of course, there is, have prunes, there's a, you have your isabgol, I remember, is, also a remedy that you can have. So, depends on what your body is actually looking for at that time. But, we have pressure points, and we have once I do the consult with people, I usually find out what is actually causing the blockage, and where we can, so there's not one size that fits all. One has to, so,
so then they should, they can all contact you after the session if they have more questions, right? There's another, my daughter just gave birth and she is getting a lot of gas problems.
So for gas, definitely press here, but I have some color points as well. So
you
for
want
example,
color points now?
So I'm just going to show you just 2, 3 simple. Also remember, when we, a lot of your gut situation is also due to stress. And it could be, and there is no, nothing to say how much stress a person has. Each person carries different stress points. But worry is a symptom of the stomach. So when we read about the stomach, we actually say that we carry worry in the stomach. And the reason is consciousness on a universal level is carried in the stomach.
Like so last night I was really little bit worried, I guess. I don't know. So I could feel that in my stomach.
We have, butterflies in the stomach is an actual symptom. Because the emotion that we carry in our solar plexus is worry. It's because of, we have a consciousness. So, because of that worry, there's spasms in the gut lining. And that also causes us to either feel queasy, constipated, or have diarrhea. So if you're finding any of these situations and you want to just calm the stomach, just take your palm, the ring finger, bring it to the palm.
So this can help with her daughter.
Any kind of stomach
problem, right?
So the point where your ring finger has touched the palm, just take a green felt pen. I mean, I use the normal, every household will have, if they got children, the Stedler pens. And just take the green color and make like a bindi. make like a
big dot.
Yeah. On that point.
Okay.
And that gives you just, I mean, this is again like a home remedy. It's like over-the-counter medicine. Of course, if you go into the, if a person comes to me, of course, I'll give them the whole array of points. But if you're just finding that the gut is in a bad shape this morning, or, I've eaten up, it's just not doing well, just use this point and hopefully you can find some relief. And if you're in a very stressful situation, you're going in for an exam or something is happening, can you see the thumb has the 3 phalanges? So in the middle one, I just put a red color, a red dot, like a bin.
Okay, so red and green. Okay. Yeah. In the middle.
And in the middle.
All right.
And also when you have
sorry. One is Neha's asking, do we press the pressure point in both arms or just one? Last time, the one you showed us earlier.
So the meridians run bilaterally. The left and the right side it runs along both sides. You can press either hand.
Okay,
or you
don't need to do both.
For example, if you're doing the right in the morning, left in the evening, or either way, the meridians will be unblocked. That's not a problem.
All right. And then Sonia is asking, while it is good to have small meals throughout the day, how important is fasting and how frequently should one fast? Are you...
This is a very controversial topic because I know that everyone is into intermittent fasting at the moment. But intermittent fasting or fasting for any reason is, of course, giving the gut a break. So if your gut is also very inflamed, you can go, I won't say a water fast, but do keep it to liquids and semi-liquids for a day or two. Just to not give extra burden on the stomach. For example, we have curd rice, or you have khichdi,
or
and
congee,
juices, or coconut water, congee. These are all home remedies as well, someone was asking. Or just keeping gut very light for a day or two. And juices, also remember, a lot of fruit has a high acid content. So I rather have coconut water. And if you're fast, if it's not a dry fast, please continue having a lot of water during the day because acids are being released. Now they have nothing to hold on to. So by having water continuously, you're diluting the acids so that you don't have an acid reflux or it's not eating up the internal lining. Also, if you intermittent or long fast are only for people who have a very earthy or a very kaphic constitution in the body. If you're an overactive person and you don't have an imbalance in your digestion, I would not recommend more than a 12-hour fast. 12 to 14, but 16 to 18 leave for people who are very earthbound, very kaphic people. And for Vata people, usually fasting is not recommended on an ongoing basis. Sometimes it's fine, but not on an ongoing basis because they already have so much air and wind in the body. And by fasting, you're going to be flying. So the system is completely out of balance and you're giving them another, and the monkey mind is going to be, climbing another tree.
More hyper,
More hyper, absolutely.
And the next question is, how useful are probiotics? Valves?
Very, very, very useful. Because as we are getting older, we are not being able to absorb all the nutrients from our food. Also, by now, we all have some kind of gut issue. I don't know the single human being who says, don't have any kind of imbalance in the gut. So a lot of we may be eating a plate of food, but you're absorbing a very small amount. And the gut needs to be built up. And the only way to build up the gut is to have a probiotic. So I sometimes you can even, take a course of probiotics if you're going through a lean period or you had antibiotics or heavy medication. And give it a break. Once you have released or got relief, give it a break. But then through food, use food as your probiotic. So have yogurts or have fermented food, sauerkraut, achar, whole Indian achar without too much oil. Yeah, exactly. So every culture actually has.
And natto is a Japanese fermented.
So
I finally just gotten used to it.
So so probiotics, I would say, are great for building up the gut health for sure.
And please give us some info about AVC. I'm not sure what is AVC.
Apple cider vinegar.
Oh, okay.
Apple cider vinegar. So apple cider vinegar is, we say that lemon or acid, when it reaches the body, it alkalizes the body. So it is good if you got a lot of acidity in the body, but please, lemon and water and apple cider vinegar only first thing in the morning. Please do not do it in the evening, because by the evening, your acid production is now being concentrated to digesting the food you had during the day and is getting ready for dinner, the last meal of the day. Now, if you're going to have lemon and water at around 7 in the evening, you're actually reducing the acid content in the stomach, which is now needed for digestion. Right. So you're alkalizing the body, which needs acid now to break down the food. So if you're having apple cider vinegar or lemon water, do have it first thing in the morning. That is why the importance of timing.
Okay. And then another question, Manju is asking, I understand that we are to have fruits in the morning and not at night. Is that true, and why? I think you kind of went through that maybe.
Yeah, because again, fruits have a very high acid content. So you want to have it during the time when the acid content in the body is very high, and that is in the day, in the morning.
Yeah.
In the evening part of it, you want to save the acid, the acid to break down nutritional cooked food. So the lighter food is during the day. Also remember, it's hot during the day. So even if you go through the organ clock, you want to have your lighter food get heavier during this thing, and then even your dinner can be light, but fruit during the day is better.
Okay, yeah, that, and then maybe there's one more question. Let me just say, but I wanted to just ask, does hot water help in any way? From Neha.
Definitely, Neha. Hot water is aids in digestion.
Yeah,
because it's like a balm.
But do you think it's important to have it after every meal? It's good.
No, you have to give a gap. You must give a gap, because your food is being digested. The enzymes are now attacking the food.
Yeah.
So at least, you don't want to have too much liquid with your food, because you're diluting the acid which are now digesting the food.
So half an hour after a meal.
Half an hour. Minimum is half an hour.
Okay.
And then, of course, warm to lukewarm water to hot water is better than cold water.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's watermelon or muskmelon. 1 minute, it just disappeared. Also cannot be consumed the night before going to bed, right?
Yes, please don't. You will be going to the bathroom. And also, if you're finding melons, you cannot somehow you find that you burp a lot after melons. Melon, by the way, is a meal on its own. You should not mix melon with other fruit or with other food, because the digestive juices required to break down watermelon are very different from digesting a mango. So if you're finding it hard, and you asked about watermelon, for example, I cannot digest watermelon. And people say it's got a high, the sugar in that it's very high. I cannot, So if you're asking that question, if you're finding that you cannot break down watermelon, then either have it in the day, but on its own. Do not mix with any other fruit, and not at night.
All right. And how much cooking oil spoils your gut? How much cooking oils? How much do cooking
How much cooking oil?
From Dimple.
Okay. From Dimple. Well, definitely not frying.
Before I get into that, Dina is saying come back to Lagos and teach us in person. Your friend Dina. Yeah. And then so what was the question?
About the cooking oil.
Yeah. How much?
So cooking oil is to make the food give it consistency. Food cannot be floating in oil, because the food has its own nutritious benefits. You don't want the oil to overtake that.
Okay.
So oil is to be consumed in small quantities to aid in the cooking process.
Yeah.
Because our Indian, I find that if there is, it makes the food so heavy that you're actually not taking in the nutritional benefits of the food in itself.
Yeah.
But you're taking in more oil. So actually, it's a bit of oil is absolutely necessary. Ghee is necessary for the body to function. It lines the system. But again, 1 to 2 tablespoons is more than enough for a meal. Anything more than that, then you're actually compensating for the nutrition in the food.
Okay. Is it okay to have 2 to 3 glasses of chash after lunch?
Chash after lunch.
Yeah.
Again, give it a gap. Or if you're having it, then have it with your meal. For example, it's like instead of yogurt, if you're having chash, then have it part of the meal. But once your meal is over, you're eaten, don't have something within half an hour again. because your digestive, all the energies in the body are going to digest that food. It's still in the process of digesting it for the next 2 hours, and you're giving it another thing to digest. So the poor stomach is now saying, I don't know how to cope. So it'll start looking at the chance now, and that poor food, which was now being broken down, is left on the side to say, okay, I'll deal with you later.
Okay.
And so, but if you're having chas, then have it, sip it with your meal. And that's fine, because it's going into the digestive tract at one time. Now, once the digestive tract is working, give it a bit of a break.
But
it's
that's
like,
what I think.
Don't keep calling it back. Don't keep calling it back to say, please, can you work on this now? Please, can you work on this now? But I feel like, so have it. And then if you want to enjoy a cup of tea or coffee, then give it 2 hours at least. Okay. And then, introduce something.
Yeah, because I think Kanchanji, when we had a talk that day, she was saying our body is like our baby, and we are like the parent, and if we don't pay attention to our baby, then it can have a lot of problems.
Yeah, but also the body has its own innate intelligence, and I think we just overlook that intelligence, and we think we want to take control of it. Yeah. So let the body also give you the messages, and listening to them is important.
So I have a few more questions. I have the same issue with watermelon. For your insight.
Watermelon is a very silent and a very nondescript. It's a problem food without anyone knowing it. It's actually one of the hardest fruits to digest. So bananas as well.
Oh, bananas also. The banana in the morning is okay, right?
It's very good. Yeah. So, keep an eye out for these watermelons. They are great, but have them as a meal and in the first half of the day.
Okay. And then Navina is asking, could you give us some examples of natural probiotic foods? I think you already mentioned yogurt. Are there any?
Yogurt, kimchi, we had sauerkraut.
Okay. Should we use normal salt or only Himalayan salt, or both are needed in the body? From Hansa.
The body recognizes pink salt, sea salt better rather than processed salt. And of course, we know that iodized salt is also required. So I've shifted to pink salt or sea salt in my food. So that is a healthier option. For example, same thing, jaggery is better than processed sugar.
Yeah. Okay.
So, just make those choices.
Okay. And what are the ideal food combinations? Rima is asking. I don't know.
Yeah. So I would say that if you're having a lot of protein, break down the protein with vegetables as your carb. Okay. So, and not processed carbs like breads. And I know, so if you're having a lot of chicken, have grilled vegetables with it.
Okay.
Mashed because that helps also. Mashed potatoes again go into a starch. It's a starch, but it's a better starch than having a processed bread. Okay. And if you do want to have your breads, and we want to have the naans and the bread, try going with a vegetarian meal for that. For example, having an avocado sandwich is better than having a loaded sandwich with chicken. Okay. Because the protein and the bread then take longer to digest, whereas avocado is not a protein but a fat, which works very well with the carb, and you will be able to digest it, and the nutrients will be absorbed more easily, especially if the gut is inflamed. So if you're having heavy protein, have it with vegetables. If you're having a lot of carbs, again, combine it with vegetables. Carbs and proteins can be had. It's not that you can't, but at the time when your digestive tract is at its optimum. If you're struggling for some reason or you're already feeling overloaded, then try separating these two food groups. Okay. Because they both are dense.
Okay, sounds good. Can you please suggest any color therapy or acupressure point for hot flashes? It's Alvira.
Absolutely. So for hot flashes, basically, it's the hormones that are causing the depletion, and there is a whole array of remedies for hot flushes, which works. But on top of the counter, you have anxiety and stress. Yeah. So that causes hot flushes, and the temperature of the body is also fluctuating because of the hormonal imbalance that is going on in the body during menopause or turn-off events. And for this, basically, we have the 5 fingers. Yeah. And if you're finding that there is a lot of we were going to talk about that. Yeah.
That. Finally,
so if you have a lot of
is this the one?
that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So if you have a lot of, so these are the 5 emotions. And I'm not saying that emotions cause you palpitations and I mean, they do cause palpitations, but they don't cause you the hot flushes directly, but indirectly, if there is a lot of sadness, anger, fear, these are all things that also come up during menopause time because the hormones are shifting up and down.
Yeah.
So just have to, we do a massage on our fingers every morning. So, and then you just hold that finger and hold it tight for a minute. If you have a lot of worry, if there is fear, anger for the middle, sadness for the ring finger, and self-esteem for the small finger.
So you just hold it for a minute.
You just hold it. Yeah, just hold it tight. Okay. And just have to prick the top of each fingernail. Can you see the top of the finger? So just put the pressure. So this is like a full body workout because the entire body is actually, meridians are reflected or ending in the palms of our hand or in the soles of our feet. Yeah. So these meridians actually, one end is in the organ and the other is in the tips of our hand and our feet. So by pressing the fingernails and the toes, we are actually giving the workout. And specifically for hot flushes, the middle sternum bone. Between the breast, there's a bone here. Okay. If you just pin me again, I can't.
Yeah, I'll move. Okay. 1 minute.
All right. Yeah. So this is the middle of the breastbone and the chest. Just press here again 7 times. Okay. With the breath. This just brings down.
Breathe in, press, and breathe out.
Press, release. Breathe out, release. Breathe in, hold for 2 seconds and breathe out. Press in and breathe out. So this is also, and then on the little finger on the inner side, just press, hold and release. This is also very good for palpitations, for high BP and for low BP.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and the other one point that is very important for all women, because with hot flushes comes insomnia, with palpitations, this point on the small finger, you come down to your wrist, the same small finger, the wrist, just press in and out. This is one of the most important points for women, especially during this time, because we have sleepless nights, hot flushes during the night. So small finger where you pressed for the heart meridian, this is the heart meridian. So you come down, this is the point, and then you come down to your wrist crease on the inner side, just press the wrist on the side of the small finger. Again, 7 times or 14 times, press and release. Especially at night, if you got up with a hot flush or you can't sleep, this is the point to press.
Okay, and someone is asking, Kavita is asking, what points are there for diabetes?
Sugar.
No, what are the points? The points. Is there any pressure points?
Pressure point for sugar. So it's again a digestive, for diabetes. So this is again a sugar is a imbalance in the insulin in the thing. So there's a whole protocol. Yeah. So I would, if you just press on these at the base of your fingernails, but if you have diabetes and you want the whole protocol, I can make a protocol for the
So I've had a few people asking for your contact. So at the end, maybe we can share your contact.
Please share, and then I'll happily make a full protocol, because these are, specific issues then you have to go through the whole meridian to find the points.
Needed to be a little more.
Because these I'm only suggesting over-the-counter drugs which are effective, but if there is a specific problem, then I'll give you a series of 5 points.
And then Dimple is asking, freshly cooked food is better than. Yes,
always. Right, always. And because the energy in the food is also fresh.
Yeah, Komal was asking raw food versus cooked food. What are your thoughts on that?
So raw food is definitely harder to break down. Yeah. Though we all love our salads. So try avoiding raw food at night. And if you're going to have a salad, it's better to have it during the day, because again, your digestive juices are stronger and you'll be able to break it down. And also if there is any kind of indigestion, it'll get sorted out by the time the evening comes on. So raw food, if you have to have salads, which we all love, especially with the heat coming on, have it during the day.
Have it during the day. Okay.
Enjoy them.
And Sonia is asking, how much of the acid ACV should one take every morning? Please suggest ACV water ratio.
1 spoon of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water.
So 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon?
Tablespoon. 1 tablespoon in that much water. So please don't dilute it to that, because that will burn the stomach up. It's a very diluted portion.
Very strong. Yeah.
Yeah, and the stomach will recognize it. You don't have to give it a shot. that will actually corrode, because it's so acidic, it will actually corrode. I know it becomes alkaline inside, but it corrodes the stomach lining. And you itself will find that your teeth corrode, it's not, so please dilute it in a glass of water, tablespoon in a glass of water.
Okay, and then Mona is asking, what are your thoughts on coffee?
Well, have it. You're asking a coffee freak, so anyone who knows me knows how much I love my coffee. So I find that so do enjoy the coffee. And again, I want to say something to everyone. Please enjoy your food with happiness. Don't have your food with that feeling of guilt.
That was my question. Wait.
Emotion.
My question
I know.
What would be your mantra? What would be your mantra for optimal gut health? I was waiting to ask that.
Eat your food with happiness, with gratitude. Anything that you're eating, please don't attach guilt to it, because you're already sending the message to the body, I'm in stress. This is going to cause me indigestion. So the poor food hasn't reached the gut before. You're already having the parasympathetic nerves fighting to say, I'm going to fight this food before it even reaches me. If you want to enjoy the coffee, please do. Only suggestion is eat something with it. That is why in a lot of cafes, you find it's given with a cookie. Don't have it on an empty stomach. Don't have it raw. Black coffee is very strong. It again corrodes the internal lining. So cappuccinos are better. If you cannot tolerate milk, there's oat milk, soy milk, almond milk. So, have it in a combination where it's less corrosive on the stomach, and eat something with it. Eat a carb with it. That's why a piece of toast, a biscuit, a date, something that will break down the coffee. So don't have it if your system is already under stress. But then once you've had it, enjoy it.
Okay. Yes. Yvette says, I love that mantra. And Hansa is asking, how is rice bran oil for cooking?
It's good. I've used it before. I've used rice bran oil. It's absolutely fine for cooking. So I would say avocado oil, rice bran oil. We know about olive oil. And these are alternative oils that can happily be used.
Okay. And I did have another question. Someone had a question about oils. I have to look for that. But there's another question.
But ghee is always better. I mean, a lot of our food is cooked in ghee because it's got a high point of cooking. So you don't want to cook in olive oil unless it's the cooking olive oil.
Yeah,
so
I think
be aware of that.
Yeah, desi
again, rice bran
ghee is so Dimple is asking, desi or pure ghee is better choice?
Pure ghee. That's the I think it's called cows. The pure ghee. Not Amul ghee is not really very pure.
Okay.
So
that's what I was just. We were having Amul ghee, and I told my husband, I don't think this is pure ghee.
Yeah, that's not it's not pure. Now you're even getting ghee butter, which you can spread on a bread. I don't know how processed that will be.
Yeah.
So try keeping it simple. Yeah.
Okay. I lost the question about the other oil. I'll get back to it. What is the ideal time gap after meals to take your supplements?
So some supplements are to be had with the meal because they digest. You don't want to have them on an empty stomach. A lot of the supplements usually I had, for example, if you're having a probiotic, you can have them lasting at night after dinner. If you're having something, I would suggest most of the supplements have them with the meal, just after a meal or in between a meal.
Okay.
If you're having digestive enzymes, again with the meal, so don't try having nothing on an empty stomach, because again, the lining of the stomach is processing it without any fuel. Let's put it that way.
Okay. And when you are carrying cooked food to the office and eating after 3 hours, is it good in nutritional value?
It's fine as long as you're not overheating and overcooking it again. Okay. So for example, if you're heating up the food and putting it in your box, if it's still lukewarm and you can manage it, I mean, if it's still warm, just have it like that. Try not reheating.
Not to reheat it.
Reheating food. Yes.
Okay. But there is a question, but can the pancreative enzyme differentiate between jaggery, sugar, and honey?
Not really. But it's when it's less processed, it gives you less of a insulin high. It has got honey has got some kind of health benefits, whereas white sugar has no health benefits. Similarly with jaggery. Jaggery, the stomach recognizes and is able to break it down faster than pure white sugar.
Are able to differentiate between. Okay. And is
so the sugar is still sugar, but it's what you can break down and how quickly you can break it down.
Okay. And then is spicy food bad for the gut? Yes.
Well, if your gut is inflamed, spices are definitely going to inflame it more. So please, or have a lot of yogurt and try to keep the spices down. At least for the time being, till your stomach does lining doesn't heal.
If you have a gut issue. Do we need to be conscious of calorie intake?
You need enough calories to survive, but you cannot live on a 4,000 calorie diet, because that will cause a lot of burden on the system. Can you imagine what the body is going to be
go through,
trying to process when it only requires 1,500 to 2,000 to survive, and you're putting too many calories into it? You're just burdening it, trying to break it down, which is not capable of breaking down. There's only that much of space in the stomach and those many enzymes that can break it down. So yes, you must have the amount of calories that you can burn. And also depends. For example, if you're an athlete, you will require more calories because you're going to burn more.
And if you're a male, you're female, your age. Right. And so the cooking oil was, which is better, sunflower, canola, or vegetable oil?
Well, sunflower, I think, is better because it's more widely accepted. Actually, out of all the oils, they say that asli ghee is still better than all of them, because all of them are processed. But I know we do use them from time to time, the other organic ghees, but so sunflower.
Okay. And can blockages in arteries be removed through exercise and diet and medication, or is surgery the only way out?
I think surgery is the last resort. Just see, in the cycle of life, it is you reach this point, the last point. If you catch it between any of these, it definitely can be sorted out. So diet, exercise, putting the right supplements in, by giving it, the blockages, acupuncture, acupressure. So like I said, in life, you have to have a holistic approach. Yeah. But at the same time, do seek medical intervention when it's needed. Now, you cannot be sitting with blockages and saying, so please do monitor with a doctor, but at the same time, help yourself to help the body. Yeah. Through natural food.
An amazing mantra. Can you say that again? Help yourself.
Help the body by helping help the body by helping itself. I mean, I don't know what I said, but
okay. So Komal is asking, what are the basic supplements we should take? I think that would depend on.
Yeah, but vitamin B12, vitamin D3, probiotics for sure. Yeah. If you're having, issues with sleep, selenium. So it depends. I mean, it's always better to go with but over the counter, then you just have, multivitamins if you're feeling depleted.
Okay. And Meenu is asking, is it okay to eat a sweet at the end of the meal?
Yes.
Like a chocolate,
but to choose the sweet wisely. And Ayurveda, they say, actually have the sweet before you start the cooked meal. Oh. Yes. And what we all know that, reversing, it's a mindset that you can't reverse. So at the end of the meal, if you feel the urge to have.
Why do they say
because the sweet again has an enzyme that is being digested, and it's easier to digest. But I'm not saying a fruit sweet. So for example,
just like a chocolate.
So what? A dark chocolate or a piece of jaggery or a piece of a date. Okay. Can be had before the meal, and then you have the meal. But I know it's a very difficult mantra to say, okay, give me dessert before that. Yeah. But if you do enjoy something sweet at the end of the day, choose it wisely. I mean, every day if you're going to have a pastry, of course, it's going to cause, indigestion. So choose but do have something that satiates and is mind over matter. So the mind has to be thought that, yes, I'm having one piece of dark chocolate, or I'm going to have, a date or a date ball. And, and yes, when you're going out and you're ordering a dessert, on the weekends or on your cheat days, please go ahead and enjoy it, every bite of it.
Okay. And then, Hansa is asking, coconut oil is also better, right? Like ghee.
Yes. Coconut oil is better, but I would still prefer, asli ghee.
Still first. And is it okay to use honey in baking?
Yes, absolutely. It's got a very high heat content. So there's no problem at all, as long as it doesn't interfere in your taste of the dessert or in baking. Absolutely.
I think we answered this. Neelam is asking, what about having lemon water in the night, like an hour after?
No. Please don't. Do have lemon water during the day. Start your day with it or have it in the mid-morning. But I think after lunch, try avoiding lemon water.
Okay. And Rima says, absolutely amazing session, Sabi. Very, very informative and such good advice.
Thank you.
And why do they say to take thyroxine upon waking? Dina.
Because it is, because thyroid is a gland, which, because either it's hyperactive or hypoactive, so underactive or overactive. Yeah. So a lot of the medicines are had on an empty stomach for thyroid before the food can enter the system.
Okay.
And interfere in its proactivity. Oh. So I know that for hyperactivity, I know that you have it first thing in the morning without any food, and then you have to wait for half an hour and then have it, so that the food doesn't interfere in it. It's better digested, and it's going to be more helpful in the thyroid gland than after food. All right. The bloodstream will carry it directly. More, that's a better way of putting it.
Okay. And Jenny says, very good informative session.
Thank you, Jenny.
Hansa wanted to ask, just want to ask about milk, dairy. Is it really bad? You would be biased and say yes, right?
That's what I say. I can't be an advocate for dairy.
Yeah.
And having done so much research, the milk today is so genetically modified.
Yeah.
It's got so many contaminations in it. That is why it's milk per se, no food group on its own is bad. Yeah. But it's just that the body has stopped recognizing it for what it's meant to be. When you have pure milk, I'm sure the body can recognize it and break it down. But the body has stopped recognizing genetically modified gluten, wheat, milk, and that is why it's saying, what are you putting in? I don't recognize this food. And that is why your intolerance is coming. Okay. If you don't look after the intolerances, then it becomes into allergens. But per se, if you're having pure milk and your body can digest it, please do have it in small quantities. Nothing is debarred from having, but as long as your body is able to recognize it, digest it, assimilate it, and absorb it. If it cannot, then it's better to find an alternative. And again, quantities. Have a small quantity, maybe yogurt better than milk.
Yeah.
Because it's got the fermenting process, it's got the probiotics. So choose wisely, and there's so many choices in the market. But if you do want to have half a glass of milk in a day, please go ahead, as long as your body can break it down.
Okay, very good advice. Dimple is asking how to detox the gut on a regular basis. I know
so at least once a week, Dimple,
but,
at least once a week, give it a bit of a break. Maybe just do like a fruit fast during the first half of the day, and end the day with a very lightly cooked meal, soup, or something that which is going to give the stomach a complete break from intense digestion. Okay. So I'm not saying starve the body, but just give it a lot of coconut water, just give it a lot of healing fruit, food, yogurt, and end it on a khichdi or with a congee or something which is very light with very little spices, so that the body gets a bit of a break. We all need a break. We all need a holiday. How about giving the stomach a holiday from time to time? So that is, so at least maybe once a week, make it a meat-free Monday, or a fasting Tuesday, or whatever works for you.
Okay. Sorry, 1 minute. I just have a message here. It just seems to be. Okay, from Sonia, is it bad to heat honey? Can we use honey as a sugar substitute for baking in cakes?
So honey cannot take very high temperatures. It actually toxifies. So put honey in lukewarm water. I've heard that honey doesn't crystallize well. So I would not use it as a substitute for sugar in hot tea or coffee.
Yeah.
Pour it on top when the coffee actually cools down a bit, or the tea cools down a little, then do add it, but not in boiling water.
Okay, and Neha is asking, if you have cholesterol issues, is it all right to cook in ghee?
It is all right, but you have to really lower the content of fat. So where you're using 2 tablespoons, you just have to cut it down to half a tablespoon. Be very mindful of the amount of any fat that you're using as a cooking basis, but ghee better than a lot of the fats, all the other fats.
Okay. And Korean is asking, can spicy food keep me away from the COVID virus?
No, I haven't heard that before. The only thing, spicy food where you're coming from, I've heard, is that the blood starts moving faster in the body and then it will dispel infections, but not really, because your poor gut is the only one that's getting inflamed. Yeah, the blood is going to flow just there to digest it. It's not going to, there's no correlation to preventing COVID.
Okay. And can we start our meal with fruits and follow with food straight after? No, right?
No.
You need to keep a gap, right?
Give it a gap, because fruit to digest it completely takes between 20 minutes to 40 minutes, depending upon the fruit that you're having. For example, mango and bananas are denser fruits. They'll take about 40 to 45 minutes to digest. So at least keep in 45 minutes to an hour between your fruit and your food, to be on the safer side.
Yeah, but from Shanta, my mom-in-law, thanks for sharing. Very informative and so much clarity. Libby is asking, kombucha. I don't know if you've heard of kombucha, the Japanese kombucha, a good probiotic.
It is. Please keep using it.
All right. And then Mridula is asking, does consuming a teaspoon of extra virgin coconut oil help for gut health?
Yes, it does. Yes, especially in the day. In the morning, if you're having, they're saying to start the day with a teaspoon of any kind of fat, coconut oil or avocado oil. It just lines the gut. It's like putting cream or Vaseline on your body, and then whatever you're putting, like the sunscreen on your skin, it's like it's a protects the gut lining from any kind of spices or any kind of other. So it's very healthy. It's very good. It's very good.
Because I do some oil pulling, but that's again not the same in terms of the
oil pulling is very, very good, because it takes the toxins out of your organs, out of the mouth, the organs, and you have to keep it for 20 minutes. That is different. But that is very different from ingesting a teaspoon of oil. Ingesting. So but both can be done. So ingest with your with your tea in the morning, just have a teaspoon of coconut oil, very healthy, and then do the oil pulling.
Okay. And Alvira is asking, what is a good time to eat yogurt?
Yogurt during the day. Try not having yogurt at night. It's very cooling in the system, so it's not recommended at dinner. But during the day, yes, either as in a breakfast with your granola or with your fruit. Fruit and yogurt again should not be had in very large quantities. Have fruit alone and have at lunch your bowl of yogurt.
Okay. And Hia is saying, amazing session. Thank you. Mridula is saying, thanks a ton. Lovely session. Each query well explained.
Please take my number, and if you have any other messages, please keep messaging.
There seem to be. Joy is saying, what amazing session. You've kept it so simple with practical tips. Yeah, that's what we wanted to do this time. So everybody can benefit. Is it
very happy to share.
Sorry, Sabeina and Sanam, you're both amazing. Thank you. Yeah, we've got, can we do oil pulling after drinking a glass of water in the morning?
Yes. You still haven't actually pulling. If it comes to that, it's better to do it than not do it. So if you find that you're having it even with your shower at 10, 10:30, 11 after having, it's still better to do it than not do it at all.
Okay.
So if you can't manage it first thing in the morning, if you're busy, drop you off, pick up, school, whatever, do it during your shower.
Later.
But it's better to do it than not do it.
Good. And Sonia is asking, is it better to consume gluten-free bakes instead of whole wheat?
It's definitely lighter. Whole wheat is heavier, and it is less, I won't say less processed, but it doesn't have, gluten is actually glue, right? So it is, it also sticks to our joints, and especially if the body can't break it down, it causes great amount of inflammation in the system. So cutting down gluten And if you do have the option of having gluten-free flour, bread, whatever, it's easier on the gut as well, especially if you're having gut issues. Whole wheat is heavier, and so more difficult to digest.
Okay. We still seem to have a lot of questions, but we are really gone a lot over the normal time. Komal is asking, can 1 tablespoon ghee be good in the morning other than the coconut oil?
Absolutely, absolutely. Even better.
Okay, I might have missed some questions, so I'm really sorry if I've missed.
No problem. You can keep messaging me. That's not a problem.
Okay, so I can get, when I thank everybody for joining, I will send your contact details.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Very grateful.
That's so great. So really, it was very helpful and very useful session. And so many.
I've enjoyed it as much as everyone else. They have, but I've really enjoyed speaking with you.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. And I've learned today that gut health is the key to our overall health. And our life is not a journey of perfection, but a journey of taking baby steps towards becoming an expanded version of ourselves. I feel, Sabeina, through your experience of wanting to go deeper into understanding the workings of the body and the mind, you have empowered yourself more. And this has really inspired me to want to learn and grow also. So thank you so much for that. And as Baba says, health is wealth. The secret of perfect health lies in keeping the mind always cheerful, never worried, never hurried, never borne down by any fear, thought, or anxiety. We are in charge of our bodies and minds. Change the thought, the belief, and the action, and you step into freedom. So I really hope we can all try to follow this beautiful advice. And thank you all for being so great at asking a lot of the questions. And Sabeina, you were able to answer everything. You were just amazing.
I enjoyed that so much.
Yeah, you really have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, and I wish everyone an empowered journey. Empowering ourselves, I think, is the only thing that we can do to move forward together. Yeah. And as a community, it's nice that we can build ourselves up, help each other, and listening to our bodies is the first step. And whenever there's help needed, there is always help. You have to just ask for it. And so keep asking. You really know how to help. Really, you really get the right points. Yeah, you really. Oh God, I don't know, but yeah, I'm very grateful. Yeah, for sharing the little knowledge that I do have. I'm really, really grateful to everyone.
No, not at all. So anyway, I think we should now be tuning out. So God bless and stay safe, everyone. And thank you so much. And
thank you.
You got a lot of people saying, Anisha and Siru, Auntie Anisha saying, thank you so much. Shilpa saying, great session. Thank you. Sonia saying, time well spent. So we've got a lot of amazing comments. So thank you all for tuning in. It was just amazing that we could have this whole feeling that we're actually all together in this, I didn't feel like it was just me and you. I just felt like it was all of us put together. So just amazing. So, and I'm sorry if I missed out on people. Kimya says, thank you. Reshma says, thanks for sharing. So lot of great information. All right. So I will log off now. And thank you again. Yeah. And we can always call you later at another point.
Please, my phone doors are
more information.
Always welcoming.
Sorry, we didn't get into the acupuncture, acupressure we did. Color therapy, we could even explore more. So
you'll definitely call me anytime. I can come back here and do a whole session on color.
Yeah.
The doors are always open.
Yes. Okay, great. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.